Welcome back to my channel. Today I am playing with the mixed media Mayhem, and today is 3D flowers, paint, and torn paper. So sorry about that wiggle. I am going to try my hand at doing quilled paper flowers. So I have the quilling tool that I bought myself for the first time I'm doing this. So there's 3 flowers up atop, and that's where I started. So I wrap a half of a length of the paper and put it into the 14 circle. I squish the top so it makes kind of a teardrop shape, and then I pop it in here, and then I'm just going to use the pins to set it up in this part of things, and then I add a little bit of glue, and then I start over again. So I'm just setting up the quill part of things, so how it spins and stuff as I kind of want it. And this stencil board, I don't know what it's called, this template, allows you to get your petals or the teardrop shape that I'm doing right now about the same size. So I've got all 3 of them done. And now I'm just putting some glue on each end, and I'm just using the tweezers to hold them together for the glue to set up a little bit. And then I'm going to put a little bit of glue on the center, and then I'm just going to add this silver gemstone. So by no means are these even close to perfect. So here's what they look like for the 5 that I did. But this is my first go at it, so I just wanted them to be, well, these are my 3D flowers, and I wanted them to be a little bit whimsical and a little bit different, and this is something my grandmother used to do, so I thought, why not? And so I pulled out this Crafters Workshop stencil and this gold acrylic paint from the dollar store, and I'm just going to paint in to this stencil the gold. And so I'm just going to speed this up quite a bit because yeah, it could be a little boring to watch me do this for a long time. I'm going to skip ahead here in a second, but literally I'm just going to paint in this part of the stencil, and then I'm going to move it up into a diagonal. So, and moving it up, and should move out. There we go. And then I came back and I decided I was going to try with some pink over top. And so it's a different butterfly on this stencil, and I want to go right over top. I didn't know what this was going to look like. Spoiler, I'm not going to use it this time around, but I don't mind how it looks. It just wasn't quite what I had in mind. So I did change to a sponge a little bit into it because the paintbrush was taking too long. And then I did mess up a little bit, so I'm just sponging around it. And I'm going to put that aside to dry. I'm going to sponge some of this gold as well. And then I am not going to use it. But why not? Why not show you? This is one of the backgrounds that will probably come up in a couple weeks or so, because I definitely could tear that kind of on that diagonal and use it, and definitely be happy with it. So, and I went and I grabbed some, what am I doing? I don't know what I'm doing. My apologies. I could have taken some of that out. There we go. I went and grabbed a black one, and then I have this other Crafters Workshop stencil, and it's a little bit more whimsical. And I'm going to smush the pink through. So I'm going to add some more pink. It's just a dollar store acrylic paint. And I smushed it through all the way everywhere. I don't mind that. And then I decide that it needs some gold on it. So I take my paintbrush and I just paint the bodies. But I don't really like this. So it seeped through funny, and I know the other stencil worked a whole lot better with that part of things. So it's globby. So then I decided to try it with just the paintbrush, and it's still globby. And so now I'm going to smush it around and see if I like that more. And it looks like a hot mess here. And now I decide, well, I've got the paint. I'm just going to smear it across all of it. So smear, smear, smear. Meh. I thought maybe I could cut them out. And then I smear here and I go, no, I'm just going to smear it like all the way on this half page. So I don't know what I was grabbing, but smearing. Here we go. Just right over top. So I'm doing it kind of like a paint wash now. And I don't know where my water went to because I probably would have added some water to it too, but not a big deal. And looks like a hot mess. And I'm going, what am I doing? Oh, well, it's dollar store paint and a piece of cardstock. Whatever. And then I do a quick rub down to smear it in a little bit more. And then I decide to tear it. And oh my goodness, do I like it when I tear it. Like, look how pretty that looks all of a sudden with that edge. And was a hot mess. Now it's not going to be a hot mess. And I'm really, really, really going to love this. Really love this. To the point that I'm going to have to remember to do this again with a different stencil because it is so pretty. Like, look at, and the shine on it. Oh, I just really like it. So, and then these are the two pictures I'm using that we see briefly and they go away. And then I'm going to pull in this stencil, and I've used this stencil before and tried to put paint through it, and should remember that this one doesn't work very well with paint. It does a globby thing, and it doesn't look too bad, but I'm not happy with it. So I just turn it over. I'm going to use the same stencil, and I went and got my inks, and I'm going to use the saltwater taffy, which is like a pinky color, and I'm going to smush that through. And I like that more. It's a little more subtle too. And I'm going to flip it over and do the other side because those strips are definitely going to go middle-ish. They're not quite middle, and I didn't want them completely middle, but middle-ish. And then I'm just going to take the ink and start in the center and smear it out so you don't get the big circle thing, because I did get a couple of lines that I wasn't happy about. And then it gives this nice little tone. And then I took my Ali Edwards gold and just put a couple of dots through. Not a lot, and it's not the same color of gold, but there's enough there that it does show up. And then sneaking this in. Again, I played with my camera, so I popped that out because, yeah. And so my glue is missing, and it was on the floor, and I found it. There we go. And then the middle piece I'm going to put it on. This was just a little too black, so I'm just going to take a little bit of that. And then this last piece I'm just going to feed in behind. And now that's on there. And I like that. And now here's those flowers that I made. So I thought maybe a diagonal. They're not going to end up like that, but I thought about it. And these are the pictures. This is my oldest with her great grandparents. When she was only a few months old. I think this was right before Christmas, and she was born end of October. So we went up to, they used to live in Stony Plain, so we went up to visit them in Stony Plain, and they were tickled pink. So this is my husband's grandparents. So, and this is one of the few pictures that we have of great grandma, because she passed away that I think it was February, March. So, and I hadn't scrapbooked it yet. It was in my pile that I really wanted to do, but I wanted to do something special with it. So this works. Then I pulled out these Picket Fence stamps, and they are called Baby Fence Studio. Oh, sorry. Baby Butterfly Beauties. I was trying to read that upside down and backwards. And then so it's a brand new stamp to me, so I was stamping it off on the side there. I do have that piece of foam underneath, so I can get a pretty good impression. And then I am doing, this is with the black soot, and I am doing some second generation stamping as well, just so that I can get some different tones, and I like that. And I just felt like it needed a little bit of black that come out a little bit more. And then I'm going to do the same thing with the pink toffee or the saltwater toffee, I think it's called, and do some of these little ones because they're cute. And I don't know, don't always like a lot of white space, so I'm filling the white space a little bit. And these ones are getting some second generation stamps too. And then I like that. And now I'm just getting these flowers glued on. So I'm just going to put a little bit of glue right where the center's going to go. And that's good there. And I'm going to take the black soot and put it all the way around the edge, just to give it some dimension and some edge on that white. And there'll be some close-ups here right away. Oh, I think that's so pretty, that middle stuff and the shine that's there. And yeah, there'll be some close-up here. So there you can see that some of the quilling flowers and some of the stamping, and the other two here, because why not? And then this is what the middle page looks like. If you are following Mixed Media Mayhem, there will be a link below for all the people that are playing. And thank you so much for watching. Subscribe if you haven't yet. Have a good day.